Welcome. I'm Belinda Joy, and you've just stepped out of the light and into the shadows of a twisted tale. Arnold Donovan wanted the world to stop turning. He wanted the clock to strike midnight on a 1950s summer evening and stay there forever. Careful what you wish for, darling. The universe has a wicked sense of irony, and it loves to grant favors with a serrated edge. I hate these people. I've lived on Mulberry Drive my entire life. To be honest, my father built the house I was born in. It was 1950 when he purchased a plot of land for his wife and his new baby son, Artie Donovan, myself. The community back then was clean, quiet, and well maintained. On Saturday mornings, we would wake to the sound of fathers mowing their lawns, gossiping about sports or the day's social issues. Mothers in cotton dresses and aprons cooked breakfast and placed fresh baked breads and pies on the windowsill to cool. Later in the day, we would find ourselves riding bikes or roller skating or playing baseball. We used our minds to entertain us. Evenings, after a freshly baked dinner, we sat as a family together at the dining table. We would gather in the living room and watch television, wholesome programming like Jack Benny, or weekly serials like The Lone Ranger. Yes, life was good. It is a far cry from the urban blight that envelops me today. The loud music, the raised voices, the graffiti, and the trash that chokes the streets. There is the constant gibberish of foreign languages. Young girls dressed like sluts, boys wearing baggy pants, purposely revealing their underwear. Men openly holding hands with other men. My father would be disgusted at the fact that men dress as women and women dress as men, and that society for the most part accepts it as if it's normal. It's disgraceful. I hate these people. Jim and Betty McCarty's house at the end of the block used to be the jewel of the neighborhood. Jim had spent all his time on Saturdays mowing his lawn, making sure it looked pristine. It was always kept at a certain length. His garden was beautiful, the flowers gorgeous, and he had fresh apple and pear trees that kept us in awe. It was a charming house. Now it is inhabited by 1,000 out-of-control rugrats. A single mother with a revolving door of different men. The once lush green lawn is now nothing but dirt. The flower beds are barren. The porch has caved in, and the trees, so abused over the years, they no longer bear fruit. I hate these people. But the worst for me is the constant noise. Back in the day, it was so quiet on the block, I could hear the birds chirping. Now it's the thump, thump, thump of bass turned up way too high. It's rap music praising the hatred of police and proudly using slurs that I was always taught were a derogatory thing to say. Yet, for some reason in today's world, it's acceptable, even by the very people that were once demeaned by those terms. There is the constant screaming and yelling, the police sirens, the fire trucks, the sound of gunshots ringing out indiscriminately at night. There are loud arguments between dysfunctional couples or friends fighting over men who don't respect them, but they're too stupid to see that. The sound of crying babies is a constant and beyond annoying. I hate these people. I just want to roll back the calendar to simpler times. Back to the times when homeowners took care of their property and themselves. When there was silence, peace, and quiet. I'm sick of the noise, sick of the volume. I want silence. It was a Friday morning when I got the news from my doctor. He was a brown fellow with a thick accent that annoyed me because I never understood anything he was saying. But that morning, it was clear as a bell. He explained that I had a condition called Usher syndrome that robbed you of your vision and hearing. Shortly after my appointment, I drove to Fairfield County to visit a farm owned by friends that were former neighbors. I walked in the woods, enjoying the sensory overload of fresh flowers and the sweet, damp smell of leaves beneath my feet. I took in the sound of birds chirping and the babbling brook that ran along the edge of the woods. I closed my eyes and bathed in the solitude. I would miss this. I would miss the sights, sounds, and scents of the woods. I loved this so much. A year has passed since that diagnosis. I now exist instead of live. My life is one of silence and darkness. I hear nothing and see only blackness. The irony isn't lost on me, my friends. How I longed for silence. How I prayed to see the blight that was enveloping my neighborhood gone. Well, problem solved. Now I see and hear nothing. And God is my witness. How I wish I did. I wish I could hear a police siren or a baby crying. I even miss the sound of rap music being played by a passing car, badly in need of a new muffler. I miss seeing and hearing the life around me, no matter how much I despised it. But all I have now is the deafening sound of silence.